Divine Spirit and gracious Creator, we're all here to open ourselves up unconditionally to your divine assistance and continued direction. As well as receiving your healing and guidance, we are fully open and ready to receive and notice signs and blessings. We are truly grateful and thank you. Amen. Please settle your minds and focus on your crown chakra. When you are ready, open it for Spirit to supply you with its source of energy. As it enters your crown chakra, allow it to rebalance all your chakras, starting with the crown chakra, moving on to the brow chakra, down to the throat chakra, and then onto the heart chakra. Carry on working its way down to the solar plexus chakra, further down to the sacral chakra, and then down to the root chakra. Allow the spirit energy source to visit all your minor chakras to maximize our potential in this circle. Let the energy settle the body. And when you are ready, move your focus back to your heart chakra and start linking with all other members of this circle unconditionally. Set your intentions on the task we agreed, please, to maximize our ability to make the links to spirit that we need to achieve. We have come together on the earth plane with the purpose of receiving answers to our questions from our spirit guides and advisors that are happy to link with us. I would like to start by introducing members of our circle here tonight. My name is Neil, and with me today is Pam, Claire, Adrian, and Donna. I would like to welcome all members of the Spirit Circle and thank you for believing in us. As we try to lift our energy levels sufficiently to enable you to bridge and make contact through our mediums, we are focusing and offering you the opportunity to link through us. Please link directly through your choice of medium. And if you're happy to link through another medium at the same time as another soul from Spirit does, please do so. Where possible, we'd respectfully appreciate confirmation that we have achieved a successful link through either a sense of doing so, or even more grateful to hear the spoken word itself. As we try to lift our energy levels in our own circle and with the help of our own guides and others in spirit, we look forward to making the connection to the spirit circle. When we have achieved that, could you confirm when you are ready for questions to be put to you, please?
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and sigh out the air. Hello there.
Hello and welcome.
Thank you. I hope you've all felt the healing we are sending you this evening.
Well, I'm feeling it, and I'm sure everyone else will be. Have you managed to blend with Adrian?
Yes, we are blended.
Good, a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you.
Do you have a name that you would like to go by tonight?
My name is Eleve.
Eleve, is that correct?
Yes, Eleve.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I normally commence by asking those that join us to explain one of their previous lives and how hard it was and what you actually achieved by taking that life. Are you happy to do that?
I would, but I haven't taken a physical life.
Okay.
My role is I am a healer for spirit. I work within the healing realms.
So by that, Elise, does that mean you actually link to us as mediums when we request healing, or do you actually heal in the spirit environment itself?
Yes, in the spirit environment. Yeah.
So do you help heal souls that have returned after a life elsewhere?
Yes, we do. Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
good.
we're part of a.
Yeah.
There's quite a few of us. Yes. Yeah.
That's very reassuring. Thank you for doing that. I'm sure with life on Earth as it is at the moment, you're kept very busy then.
Oh, it is very surprising. The difference in the healing that is necessary, and it is rewarding and sometimes can be challenging.
Yeah.
It all depends on how old the the soul is,
Yeah.
or how experienced, I should say, as well.
Yeah. I understand that. Yeah.
Sometimes the younger souls sometimes will take a shorter life, or they will sometimes keep going back. I suppose it'd be like your favorite ride, or your favorite thing where you go and do something, and then you go back to the back of the queue and queue up and go again, and
Yeah.
you never get bored with it. Sometimes it's like that.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. I mean, we're led to believe from our conversations with Spirit that there are probably a very large number of young souls taking lives on the Earth plane at the moment. Is that true?
Yes, there is a hmm. I think initially there was some encouragement, a bit of a push forward for
Yeah.
some that were advancing quite quickly to go to the Earth. But I think there was a realization that, like everything we always talk about, there needs to be balance.
Yep.
And I think at the current time for you all, there is a slight imbalance.
I would understand that. I would understand that fully. Okay. I'm sure you know what questions are coming, and I suspect that's why I believe you've been sent as a spokesperson. So is it okay if I just start with some questions now?
Yes, yes, it is, yes.
Okay, it's quite a serious question. With the increase in what we see as child suicides, which are prompted by significant depression levels, which move into self-harming, and the effect of social media information scenarios, how involved should we try and help, or is this down to the individual soul to overcome their trials and tribulations?
Unfortunately for these poor souls, there is nothing that the soul initially can do, because with the child being so young,
Yeah,
it is still learning with that body. The need to help with this is down to the adults, I'm afraid. There seems to be a lack of communication with the children and the parents, and discipline has changed over the years.
okay, yeah,
Things used to be very strict between the parents and the children. Parents are now the children are almost seen as a equal,
okay,
which has advantages in some ways, but the disadvantage is there is a little less respect given. So the children do not talk to their parents about things that bother them.
okay.
But the
And I
society
was
has
just,
also become, I suppose you would call it, too soft, too politically correct, too,
yeah,
how can I say, there has to be better boundaries. There is too much of this. There's a lot of legal things that if somebody does something on the earth, that people threaten to sue people, and all this is all to do with money. It's not
yeah,
actually seeming to be dealing with the problems at the time. So people are frightened to do things. The children are frightened to talk to their teachers. The teachers don't want to get involved because of all the processes they have to go through.
yeah,
Parents can't seem to confront and talk to the parents of the other children that seem to get involved in this. What you need to do as a society is to look at this with greater depth. Find out the source of why these poor children and adults turn to self-harm and end in their life. Because sometimes they are doing this and even the parents have no concept of what their child is going through.
I'm
Their
glad
child
you
is
said
hiding.
that. Yeah.
these people aren't speaking. There is no communication between the family groups, the family members. I've been asked to pass this message on that you must talk to your children or people around you that just seem to be acting out of the ordinary for themselves.
I was listening to a discussion on our radio today. That's what made me put this question, because a father described a situation where they had no idea that their 14-year-old daughter had any of these negative traits. She didn't show it, apparently. And through curiosity, our society, through social media, made information too readily available on how they could harm themselves, or even take it to a degree of becoming hospitalized. But what struck me was that the family, and the father seemed very, very genuine, had no idea his child had any of these negative thoughts. And that puzzles me, really.
Your society at the moment is becoming very disconnected.
Yeah.
People no longer eat meals as families, do not gather and spend time. This is where it must start, where people come and ask each other how their day is, how they are getting on. But it works both ways.
Yeah, good point.
The children must open up to their parents. All those that are vulnerable must open up to those that are there for them. People should not be frightened about an outcome when a life is involved, whether it's just self-harm, life is there to be enjoyed. Yes, there are challenges. That's what life is about for you. I can't pretend to say that I have experienced this because I haven't. But the reason I do what I do is because I have a different set of experiences that help me.
Okay.
I say help me, but there are those that do what I do. That
Can you explain or give an example of what you call a different experience, just so that we can consider it?
we know that what we do not need to live a physical life.
Yeah.
Some say that in order to give help and advice, you need to have had that experience in order to understand it. But when you return from your physical being, it is the energies that you bring back with you, and it is those that we help you understand and deal with, recognize the differences, the vibrations, the frequencies. This is how we help release and help you understand.
So by understanding the management of the energy, does that allow you to pick up the experiences, the emotionalism of the scenarios?
Yes,
Okay.
we sort of arrange it in an order of how it
Yeah.
built up within them in their physical life. It can be very, as I said earlier, it can be very challenging.
I was going to say, I would imagine it's very complex.
I'm trying to explain to a youngling, a child that passes that realizes straight away what they've done. They sometimes actually to help them, they sort of realize what they've done straight away. They should have, they've seen the error almost straight away. But where the difficulty with them comes is that sense of guilt that they didn't reach out for help. And also the vulnerability where they knew that they shouldn't have kept watching and listening to others, finding this content.
Yeah.
Whereas an adult, it is the other way around. They don't understand how they got that way, but then they can sort of get over it quicker than the opposite side.
Okay.
But why on earth society would make it freely available to allow this information to be freely available of how people can harm themselves. And this is just not a good thing. This needs to be monitored.
To be honest, that's what the father was working on now, of bringing that to the attention of officials or politicians that can do something about it to, restrict that.
These people know this. They have families themselves. The people that
Yeah.
run these websites, these things you all go on, know this is wrong. It would not take them anything at all to block this stuff straight away. If you have your black web or your stuff, this is not an easy thing to get onto. So it'd be very difficult for people to find. But when it is on the mainstream, this should be easily blocked. Should be no second thought about it.
Yeah. So in a way, that's a responsibility of the human souls that are living here at this time that are in control of those sites.
Yes.
Okay. But what you've illustrated is, even putting that to one side, life is probably moving at too fast a pace, and everyone, even though they are in family groups, doesn't realize then they're not working together as a family group and supporting one another as they should.
Yes.
Very sad, because it's a high price to pay when your child takes their own life.
Yes. Must always check in with one another every day.
Yeah. Thank you for that. on to other questions then. Okay. Has the research completed for the COVID virus development accelerated our ability to find a cure for cancer? And how long will it take to come to fruition if it has done?
I'm going to say something now that people have thought, but not everybody knows. These cures have already been found. Unfortunately, these people, again, greed, absolute greed, I'm afraid. I can't say anything else on this matter, but there are lots of things that have been found. Cures are out there. But if nobody had these illnesses, these corporations and companies would be out of business.
Yeah, okay, I've heard that before. I've heard something similar before.
There may not be a cure for everything.
No, agreed.
But in the main, a lot of what you all go through and suffer can be cured.
How can you give us all hope for the future then?
The balance is being made from our side. It will take time. Do not believe that all you hear on your news about what is right and wrong for you. Eat healthily, exercise, take fresh air. Do not overindulge in things. These are the things that would prevent your illnesses.
Okay.
There will always be illnesses. That is just the way of things. There are a lot of living things, from your insects, microorganisms, all the way up and down the food chain.
Okay.
This is life. But for your cancers and those things, the viruses, just make it more of a balanced life for yourselves.
I mean, are we now expecting to live too long? And was the human vessel designed to last so long that people expect?
There are life forms out there that live a lot longer than a human. And humans can live longer. But there has to be a balance.
Yeah.
So again, it is looking at the balance of those that live the longest lives. They might not necessarily have lived necessarily the healthiest with their food and drink, but it is their mind that may have carried them on longer in life than others. Don't take too many things to heart, especially those of others and strangers. Listen to yourselves.
I mean, expectation. Sorry, you carry on.
All I may say is that life is there to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
And it is not there to be pressured upon. So do not let external forces pressure you. Enjoy the things you have. Do not necessarily push to have other things. That is where you can get lost on your journeys. Live within your means.
I mean, expectation is a form of greed, but why do so many humans now believe it is the right? You know, that's a change in attitude from what I can see.
Yes, there has been a big change in attitude. Again, this is for what started as an innocent in trying to make people equal and have fairness. Things get taken too far.
Yeah.
Almost that it stunts the life itself on earth. People become frightened to do anything because it always comes back around to money. It is a great shame. You go.
Are you go on.
I was going to say that you come out of the world exactly the same as what you came into it.
Yeah.
And if you become too greedy and you think you're leaving it for your offspring, your children, then they do not get to experience life as they should by having everything and not learning the ways of handling and growing responsibilities.
I mean, are you recalling more souls sooner now than planned from the Earth plane in order to generate a better balance, or are things just going to be left to plod along at the current pace? Sounds a bit harsh, but there might be method to such
We are
madness.
not recalling, but the natural, the way the civilization is at the moment. Souls are coming back
Yeah.
more quickly than they should. But
In Earth years times, though, how long do you expect the next generation of incarnated souls to take to generate the change needed in our attitude? What are you hoping for? As I said, in an Earth time calculation.
about 2 generations.
Okay. Is the instability that we're suffering in our world at the moment necessary to generate a change in responsibility from those living here?
There are things that are happening, but people are taking longer to learn.
Okay.
They're still blinded by what they think they should have and not what they need.
How would you suggest we should rise to the challenges for our survival then?
In a simple statement, it would be that if you do not look after yourselves now, there will be no future. If you do not look after one another, there are things that we can say, but we just hope that this last generation of children can find its feet and grow.
Yeah. I mean, are you close to withdrawing your support to sections or even nations within our society in order to bring about changes required sooner rather than later to benefit the majority? Does that get considered?
This may be a consideration. It is not one that I know greatly of.
Okay.
All I can try and do is heal those souls that come back to us. But they can see the actions that they have taken and the actions of others.
Yeah.
Some are eager to come back to make that change. Others need more time to reflect and maybe abstain from coming back to the earth.
I was going to say, when you recognize that they need more time, presumably you block them coming back.
Yes, they will get more time.
Yeah.
In other activities.
Yeah, I apologize for some of the words I say because I know it tends to.
You are not
agitate,
wrong, but this is all free. You don't need to
Yeah.
apologize for your words.
Thank you. I mean, you probably know I refuse to accept all the negativity around us at this time, but it is difficult. So how do you think we should fight back either physically or metaphorically in what we have to deal with? What's the best way through it?
Love, kindness, and consideration would be the three things. One for yourself, and two for others. You can only start with yourself. If you shine your light with those values, others will see it and absorb it. That's all we can hope for at this time.
Okay, thank you. When is the time ever right, or should we just go for things on impulse?
Everything has its time. If it is meant to happen there and then, it will do. If it isn't, that is when you revisit it later.
Okay.
So if
So
you
when
feel you need to do something, then do it.
Yep.
If it doesn't work, it is probably not meant to work at that time. Try it once or twice.
Yeah. So if we get a strong impulse, certainly more than normal, is that when our guides and inner selves, higher selves, are actually helping us to attempt to make change?
Yes. It also may be that they push the change when you suddenly do something that you wasn't necessarily thinking or planning of at the time as well.
So you're saying is we can contribute and but they can back us.
Yes.
Okay. What do we need to pray for at this time? What do you see? If you're dealing with all the casualties that come back to spirit, what stands out most?
Pray for love for one another and togetherness. To look out for each other. Pray for kindness. There are many things, but keep it simple. Your heart will tell you. If you stay quiet, do you wish to pray or say a word? Ask your heart, what do I need to pray for in this moment? The answer will be received straight away. You will not get time to think about anymore.
Okay. On the earth plane then, does love, it sounds a bit flippant and I don't mean it that way, but does love conquer all, or is it just our diversion from our current reality?
It should conquer all. That should be the way of it. But sometimes the term is used and there is no feeling with it.
Mm.
People throw the word love around all the time. They think they see others using it, so they think they should use it, but there is no feeling with it. Like a lot of things. If there's no feeling, it really doesn't have any meaning. Don't say things you don't feel.
Yeah.
But yes, love. Everybody has experienced it one way or another. So they should know what it feels.
Okay. As regards physical love, is lust a prelude to it in a human soul, or a negative interpretation of it, or doesn't it matter if it leads to what I call emotional love?
We would say it does not matter.
Okay.
This is part of the human life. Lust and love are two separate things.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean to say that one can't turn to another.
Okay. But is it a negative if it doesn't turn to the other?
No, it is just an experience.
Okay.
Some might say a very nice experience.
Okay. That's fair enough. Leading on from that in a slightly different way, but I'm living in a world now, and I have been for some time, where we go out of our way to create labels of human souls or the sex of human souls. We have, I believe, we now have the word pansexual. Have we actually gone mad? So,
I could
I
have,
believe souls are who they are. They just are who they are. And isn't that all that matters?
yes, I do not think all these terms and labels, and they are only in certain societies as well.
Yeah, true.
It is not a world or civilization as a whole on the earth that recognizes all of these. You all have your own beliefs, but yes, your soul is your soul. Doesn't need a label or a term. You are who you are.
Yeah. I mean, some societies, although they don't recognize them, they actually, in a roundabout way, do, because they criminalize them, don't they? So they've got some catching up to do as well.
They have, yes.
But
But
I wonder
everybody's
how much the labeling causes that statement to be made that, they're wrong. We didn't push the label, there wouldn't necessarily be such a debate on it.
I think you have the perfect answer there, Neil, with that one.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. is there unrest at the moment? You can see the whole picture, whereas I can't, but is there unrest, even rebellion or civil war building in Russia, which will change the outcome of the war in the Ukraine? There are rumors creeping out.
Yes, there is an internal separation.
Okay.
But as their information is being manipulated, it is taking a while for it to get around. But yes, in a whole, they can see that it has no meaning, completely pointless.
Okay.
Nothing will be learned from this as a whole for the individuals involved. As society, it will be learnt to start recognizing when this can happen in those leaders of those countries.
How long do you think it will be before these, let's just say the souls, the human souls involved taking the decisions and out of order, how long before can you see them being overthrown? You know, how can we stop and reduce the suffering of those that have no control over their destiny?
We say a conclusion to this within the next 12 months.
Okay, thank you. I pray, that happens. Okay. But following on from that, then, are martyrs and casualties needed to support change? Is that a fact of our lives? That has to happen to bring the change forward?
Yes, there are those that know their life's plan under certain circumstances.
Okay.
But they must do. They know that they are there for the whole and not the self.
Yeah.
You might call them sleepers.
Okay. Yeah.
Certain souls will awaken for certain.
Yeah. I'd like to call them sleepers for our survival. I like the term sleepers. I get that. Is giving in ever justified in real terms?
It can be justified, yes.
Okay.
Not to the point where they give in everything.
Yeah.
But some people need to recognize the time to give in when they are tired and exhausted. Some people give up too early. Some people should give in and keep persisting. It can work both ways. But again, if you have tried something a certain amount of times and it doesn't work, then it is not necessarily time to give in, but to make a change.
Yeah. Okay. Who keeps their eyes on the or equivalent on spirit in spirit, not on the earth plane? You obviously observe what we do. Who observes what happens in spirit?
I don't actually know that. I'm sure there's some further up that deal
Yeah.
with things. I am too involved in doing what I do.
Who sets your objectives in a way, though? I suppose that's the other way, isn't it? I believe.
When I was at a younger age, you would say,
Okay.
I was shown different ways. And I just chose the path that I wish to lead.
Okay.
Which I believe is what I was created for anyway.
Yeah. But presumably someone in spirit has the task of pulling all like-minded souls that are doing what you do together to try and maximize the effort that you're putting in.
I think it's like a finely oiled machine.
Yeah.
You would put it that things just work. It is
But
the
with
way
the
it is meant to
but with
be.
the finely oiled machine, you have to service it appropriately to
Yes.
maintain its momentum.
And from time to time it has its hiccups.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. It's a totally different question then. Are the Anunnaki on their way, or other aliens on their way to the Earth plane to re-educate us? Is that part of the game plan or not?
I would say that they have had their time.
Okay.
I would say that they still have some involvement
All right.
for what they once put in place. But if anything is needed in the future, maybe the time for another.
Okay. Have we yet to still discover what they put in place fully, or is that being helped by people that are manipulating the information?
More will be learned
Okay.
over time when things are found and rediscovered. I think when something is next found or shown, it will be a more exciting time.
Okay. That's encouraging because you're bringing us hope.
There is always a need for hope.
Yeah, I agree. Should we ever be looking over our shoulders for pitfalls or danger spots Or is that a negative?
I would say that is a negative. It doesn't harm to look from time to time.
Yeah.
But to look back and glance on what is behind does not help.
Whilst you're here, is there anything you would like to say on your behalf or on behalf of the Spirit Circle that you believe is relevant for us to hear tonight?
I would just say that please look after yourselves and look out for one another, your families and your friends. I say this only to just reassure. Most of you do. You're all very kind. You look out for one another. Listen and look into your dreams. And take the advice when you ask for it. But do not forget, make sure you have asked yourself before asking out. This will save confusion with what you are looking for.
Okay, thank you for that.
With that advice, I will say a good evening to you if you do not mind.
Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed the conversation tonight, as usual. And I'm sure all the information given will benefit as many people that watch our recordings and bring them hope,
We hope it
enlightenment,
does.
and support. That's why we do it, really.
One more thing I must just pass on.
Yeah.
So when you are feeling tense, remember to breathe it out. Have a little shake of the hands and the arms.
Okay.
And I send you my love. And of
And we,
those, this
yeah.
side of the circle.
And we send our, our love back with you, please, to everyone there. And please keep looking after us, be it when we return or whilst we're on the earth plane, please.
I will. Thank you so much for letting me join you this evening.
You're very welcome, and thank you for your presence.
Thank you.
Time for us now to finish today's question and answer session. We would like to thank Spirit for being here to guide us and working directly with us. That includes our personal guides and for the additional advisors that have joined us here today to give us the benefit of their wisdom. Thank you so much for your continued support, which we all fully appreciate and value. We do look forward to linking up again with you next time. Before we close the link, we hope you don't mind us spending a few minutes of our time exploring our personal direct links with Spirit. 2 to 3 minutes until I call you back into the room, everyone. Time now to refocus on your crown chakras, please. And as and when you have, close it down to break your link with Spirit. Move any residual energy you don't need down from your crown chakra to your brow chakra, onto your throat chakra, then to your heart chakra. Carry on taking it down to your solar plexus chakra, onto your sacral chakra, and then to your root chakra. Allow this surplus energy to move down through your legs and body to your feet and ground yourself on Mother Earth, please. When you are sufficiently grounded, and in your own time, gently and slowly bring your attention back into the room. As usual, now I will call on Pam when she's ready. Who has been
Thank you,
charged
Neil.
being the eyes of our group, just to see what she has to report. Over to you, Pam.
Okay, thank you, Neil. And this is more about not me seeing anything this time, but about a message. This is to do with winter coming on. And as we all know, and that is a lot of people are going to struggle, if not everybody. And what has been suggested is that rather than stay at home and get so cold, and that is we need to wrap up warm and go out for long walks. That way you will bring the warmth into your body and take yourself away from worrying about the heating. And that is go out into nature, and that wherever you go, you can go into, your garden, into your the parks, the seaside, wherever you happen to live, and that you don't need to go too far. There's some sort of green areas, woodlands. Please go for that walk and look around you, look at nature, particularly the birds. Birds are free, they fly free. And that's what they want us to do, is to try and be as free as possible in nature. Okay, thank you, Neil.
Thank you, Pam. Lovely message. On that note, I'll stop the recording now, and we hope you'll pick up us on next time. So bye for now.